"Do everything possible to make him well," said the fat controller. "If we need to send more experts from the mainland, we will," said the thin controller. The death of Edward. Songs and flowers. This is a fan-made episode of Thomas and Friends. It was just another busy day on the island of Sodor. At the yard, Thomas, the tank engine, and his friends were very busy doing their task. Gordon was his usual self, gushing, rushing and shouting. Express coming through. Percy was busy, dirty and jolly, running to and from the quarry. Thomas was happily pulling Annie and Clarabelle to pick up passengers. And then there was Edward. Edward was on his usual shift, pushing trains or helping them for an extra muscle when their loads are very heavy. First it was Duck, who needed his help uphill. Then there was Henry, already strong, but his flatbeds today are so heavy. Salty also needed help to move a barge, as well as to have someone hear his stories. All was going well until Edward suddenly stopped on his way back to the yard from the wharf after helping Salty. "What's wrong?" asked his engineer. Edward chuckled. "It was nothing. I think I have a hiccup." "Trains don't do hiccups," said the engineer. "What's wrong?" Then Edward slowly moved, only to stop again after a few yards. His engineer became worried. Edward chuckled again, and with a smile said, "I think I am due for an overhaul. One of my pistons quit moving." An alarmed engineer called the fat controller for immediate rescue. The fat controller got the message and sent Henry in Hero to pull and push Edward back to the yard. Just as Hero and Henry came, Edward smiled and blurted out a thick black smoke. Everyone was shocked. No train in Sodor has ever done that before. It was like a black cloud gloomed over them. Just as it was planned, Edward was taken to the train works for repair. Victor took charge. He looked up at Edward when he arrived. A sad and smiling Edward said to Victor, "Hello, old friend. I think I busted myself big time today." Victor replied with a soft voice, very, very much different from his usual confident self. "I will see to it that you are well taken care of, Edward." Victor was very worried. The next day, news broke that Edward wasn't well. The trains of the branch lines were worried. Knowing Edward was a great part of the train system of Sodor, they knew that there will be difficult changes to happen to make adjustments for the absence of Edward. News spread across the land about Edgar's condition. Back at the steamworks, Victor has the hardest of news to tell the fat and thin controller. Edward's engine is failing. We have replaced all possible causes of his shutdown with brand new parts. None are working. Edward's system will not start up. Each day as we try to bring his steam back to puff, they shorten their time to work. Edward's light puff is leaving him, says sadly of Victor. Do everything possible to make him well, said the fat controller. If we need to send more experts from the mainland, we will, said the thin controller. The night became silent as the steamworks watched over Edward. No one slept that night. Not a lamp was turned off. Days passed into weeks, and Edward wasn't getting to his best self. Even the experts who came had to tell the saddest news. Edward's puff was failing. For reasons that are mechanical and scientific, they just cannot find the cure for Edward. And so, the people and trains of Sodor and the far lands made daily visits to Edward. Songs and flowers were given. The steamworks was blossoming with love for Edward. It was the time when the sun rose. The birds chirped, and the sweet morning dew dries up. When Edward was rolled to his final resting place, all of Sodor was there. The trains, the steam engines, the diesel trains, the electric trains, and the trams. Even trains from the far lands came to give their last respect to Edward. The fat controller and the thin controller were there with the deepest of sorrow and sadness on this day of farewell for Edward. Each one took turns to view Edward in his shining and gallant last few moments. A friend, a hero of Sodor. Edward was always an engine who never spared a moment to lose his connection to anyone. He always made sure that his duty for his fellow trains and his people are well done. From the moment the sun rises to the coldest of nights, Edward was dedicated and passionate. He may be gone, but his memory of selflessness and dedication to duty will forever be part of us. Edward, you will always be a part of Sodor. And with that, a soft drizzle came as the sky cried on the loss of Edward. Sodor will never be the same again, knowing it has lost a son, a friend, a hero.